just speaking of lessons from the first time, obviously there was a little sweet spot where it wasn't hell on earth to get things manufactured and imported into the country. We're unfortunately out of that sweet spot again. But in your experience, kind of figuring that out in this current climate, importing climate, what sort of takeaways do you have from kind of trying to navigate that, as far as like getting your Kickstarter, making sure your Kickstarter is at an appropriate monetary value so that you don't get crushed as things, as far as manufacturing goes, wherever you're importing it from? Where, did you have to go to different countries to try and make things, make sense for you financially? Like, tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, when you were at PAX playing the game, we weren't sure when we would launch Kickstarter technically, because at the time tariffs were 145%
Yeah.
import from the really popular manufacturers, Panda and Longpack, which is my manufacturer. All the big ones are over in that country. 145% meant that indie people like myself, 0% chance we're funding that. Like, that's an insane amount of money to pay in just taxes, and
Right.
we just couldn't raise that. Not to mention the price to the customer would then have to increase by so much that I myself didn't want to do that. So we're actually right after, I think it was the Monday after PAX East, they announced some negotiations. Things came down. They said they were going to be 30%. I did the calculations. I figured out I can afford 30% if it stays that way, but I don't know how long it's going to stay that way. So it's a little bit atypical. What I actually did was manufacture the game itself right then and there, fully paid for. And then Kickstarter is kind of raising funds for the add-ons that we're trying to do. So we have like a
Okay.
mini little expansion. We have amazing neoprene playmats, and we have what my favorite part is, like this spell book. It's like a binder for your cards. So you have like 4 up. That way, each school of magic has its own page.
Yeah.
It's made out of like, faux leather. It's like embossed. It's incredible. I thought, a wizard game needs a spell book. So that's it was kind of the funding part of Kickstarter, was to finish, the idea we had. But at minimum, I wanted to get it, over to those manufacturers and say, look, while tariffs are not crazy, let's get it in there so that at least I can pass that on to a reasonable price, even if I'm just selling the game without all those add-ons. That was my goal.